After 1 month's shore leave, the USS Player's Aid prepares for its second voyage. It's 1942, February. From Naval Headquarters come the orders. We're off to the China Sea. Moving out in transit. Everything's clear on the way out. The journey goes seamlessly, much to the relief of the crew. After a hard week of sailing, we reach our first destination. The sonar operator reports nothing. The waters are clear. As the Player's Aid journey progresses, the sonar operator reports contact ahead. Through the periscope, Captain Hamilton spots a small convoy, including the Oyama Maru, a small freighter, the 4,400-ton Indus Maru, a small passenger ship, and the 4,500-ton Akashisan Maru, another small freighter, all of which are under heavy escort. It's daytime, so the Player's Aid has to approach. Submerged, the captain orders torpedoes to be fired. 3 at the Indus, and 3 at the Akashisan. Of the 3 shots fired at the Indus, we score 1 hit, but the torpedo is a dud. Of the 3 fired at the Akashisan, we score 2 hits, and 1 of them is a dud, but 1 hits, scoring 1 point of damage. The escort destroyer turns on us, and we roll to evade. The destroyer drops depth charges, sending thunder throughout the ocean, and rocking the Player's Aid. The first hit shakes the entire boat, knocking the entire crew off their feet. The worst possible outcome, Captain Hamilton suffers a serious wound. Several other of the crew are lightly injured as well. Another depth charge rocks the side of the Player's Aid, knocking out the periscope. The depth charge cycle continues as we are unable to lose the destroyer. Devastatingly, 3 more depth charges rock the Player's Aid. Firstly, the fuel tanks are destroyed. The second depth charge causes flooding to occur in the midship. Luckily, the engineering crew were able to seal off the flooding and stop any further damage. The third and final depth charge hits the bows of the Player's Aid, taking half the torpedo doors out of action. We'll be unable to use them in the future. Through all the commotion of the depth charges, the Player's Aid is able to limp away. After finding some safe waters, the crew decides to perform repairs, but are unable to successfully put anything on the ship right, and many of the systems that were damaged are now fully inoperable for the rest of the patrol. As the Player's Aid sails in open waters, a squadron of Japanese Zeros appears and dives to strafe the submarine. The trained crew of the Player's Aid quickly performed an emergency crash dive and avoided any real contact and danger from the Japanese Zeros. Under the command of the executive officer Steinberg, the Player's Aid continues their patrol and finds a lone ship in the middle of the China Sea. The ship identified was a measly 1,300-ton small freighter, the Hakutetsu Maru. But when pickings are slim, and the boat isn't as bad as condition as this one is, we'll take what we can get. We find the ship at night, and are able to perform one of the vaunted night surface attacks. The XO orders 3 torpedoes to be fired, all of which hit, but the torpedoes are all duds. So the Player's Aid pulls up to the side of the boat and opens fire with a 3-inch deck gun and destroying the small freighter. It's not a lot of consolation, but at least it's a ship sunk and a hampering to the Japanese war effort. The rest of the journey seems to be going uneventfully. That is until we find ourselves in transit around Papua New Guinea. The XO got excited and opened fire on what turned out to be a restricted passenger ship. We're gonna hear about this one from Naval Command. Once we return to dock, we find out that Captain Hamilton's gonna need 3 months to recover, so shore leave's gonna be a bit longer this time round. He is awarded a Purple Heart, but that's not much consolation for the XO being court-martialed and a letter of reprimand being issued, and they'll probably overlook us for a promotion when the time comes.